All right, let's get right into our topics here. More hodlers than the profit takers. There's another survey. We've talked about this company before. They've done surveys before. It's called the Backed. It's a crypto marketplace. They send out they send out thousands of thousands. We actually have a little graphic here. We can go ahead and pull that up. So they interviewed thousands of people. Of the people who do own crypto, around 11% have transferred it to someone else. If we look at the largest one, 58% are saying they want to use it as a long-term investment. They want to accumulate value. I think that might be a little bit optimistic. I don't know. Ben, how do you feel about 58% claiming that they want to hold crypto for the long term? Do you think if Bitcoin hits 100,000, they'll still be singing that tune?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on the show today.
Love having you.
Glad to be here. Rice, I think your volume on your mic is turned up way too high, just so you know. Yeah,
Thank you.
We're hearing if your shirt's wrinkle, like your shirt, you move your shirt wrinkles. You sound like,
oh wow, how is this?
Okay. Yeah,
just a little bit better.
You just hear him breathing like.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Okay. Look. Yeah, it makes sense to me that 58% of people would say this because I mean, look, for those of us that have been in here for years and years, like we've seen the cycles all the way through. We see what happens. We know how to play them smartly. We know to sell the tops and buy the bottoms. The vast majority of people in crypto during every bull market are new, so they don't quite understand that. They haven't seen it all the way through. And so, because I was talking to my father-in-law this morning and he texted me, he's like, man, I'm thinking about moving all my Bitcoin over to VeChain. Do you think that's a good idea? And I'm like, well, the thing about it is like, yeah, I think it's a good idea. Like Bitcoin's going to rip soon. So you may want to wait till Bitcoin rips and then do it. But VeChain is going to outperform Bitcoin for the rest of this bull market. There's zero question about it in my mind at this point. Like VeChain will at least 2x where Bitcoin, or at least 3x where Bitcoin will be lucky to 2x from here. So, or it will almost exactly 2x from here. And he was like, well, if I make this move, I'm going to want to hold VeChain for at least a year. And I said, why? And he said, well, because the tax rate is lower if you hold it for a year. And I said, well, let's do the math on this. If it drops 80% in the next year, is that still a smart move mathematically for you to do? And the answer to that question is absolutely not. Like having to pay a higher tax rate is a good thing. That means you made more money. So I think the vast majority of people are still trying to figure this out and get their hands on that. And I bring up that story because I think that's a pretty common thing that new investors think about. Like a year from now, the prices are going to be so much lower. Even all that into consideration, it still makes way more sense to sell at the top here in a couple months.
Yeah, I would agree. But
wrong.
Oh, well, all right. What's your take, Stash? Or you just want to say wrong?
No. So I agree with the hodling part of this. I think that a lot of new people coming in, it makes sense for them to think like that. But if you're thinking only in 1 year moves and that is your long-term thinking, you're not on the right time scale, guys. You shouldn't be thinking like what's going to happen in an inter bull bear market cycle. Like, I got to get out here at the top. And I don't mind paying short capital gains tax because I'll still make a ton of money if I sell the top. I mean, if you're looking to be a trader, that's one thing. But if you're looking to actually be an investor and hold for the long term, you should be thinking in 5 to 10 year increments. The big boys that make the big money, they're not over there sitting there thinking what's going to be happening within a year. That's what they let the little traders and the guys in the trading room worry about. Most people. For most people that are coming into something like this, and we talk about like, oh, there's, they pulled and all these people are going to halt. Of course they are, because most people are not invested traders. They're not over here, they don't have the time to spend trading. And that's why, I advocate the same thing. That's my strategy. And I talk to that about my community about that exact same thing, is that most people don't have the time to consistently watch markets, to watch trends, to jump on the newest, latest coins. But what they can do is they can invest consistently with things like DCA or, buying when there is a dip, and at least, they're aware of that, and holding for the long term. And because that's what's going to be the best strategy for the majority of people who are going to touch crypto in their lifetime.